Hello guys, so we are moving into a new chapter, and this chapter is going to be on we're going to move back to chapter 6 that we did not cover the last time. So this is on linear functions and graph. Okay, so today you're going to learn two things. One is Cartesian coordinates, and hopefully if we have enough time we can move on to learn about function. Alright, okay, so let's start, right? Look at the cinema. I know many of us cannot go to the cinema now, but let's look at the cinema sitting below. Okay, if you were to go and choose a seat, let's say this two seat here, what will you say to the counter when you are there? Let's say you are not booking online, but you are at the counter, and then they show you this, and they ask you, okay, you can choose two seats that you want, and you want this two highlighted seat. What do you call them? How do you name them? You won't say that one, right? You say the one at the corner. There's so many corners. Which one are you talking about? If you want to be exact, then how do you do it? Okay, so that's exactly why we are learning Cartesian coordinate today, because it teaches us how to name different spot. Okay, so in this unit we're going to learn how to describe. Okay, what is a Cartesian coordinates? Is this okay? Can you follow me? So Cartesian coordinate is what we call you have actually drawn before. It's on the graph. Okay, so it means this. Okay, it shows a Cartesian plane is where two number lines intersecting at the right angle with at the point O as the origin. Okay, the horizontal and the vertical axes are called x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so we have in a Cartesian coordinate, they are 2D. It is 2D, two-dimensional. You have your horizontal one, that's called the x, and you have a vertical one, that's called the y, and it always starts from O, the origin. Okay, normally we write it here, the O origin at the center. Okay, then as you go up, the number increase. As you go to the right, the number increase as well. Okay, so in a Cartesian coordinate, this is it, but we need to learn how we name every single coordinate. Okay, like for example, this point A over here. What is the name of this point? Okay, we call it A. But if I ask you to describe this point mathematically, what will you call it? Okay, we will always call it by x first, then the y. How do we do that? From here, we draw a dotted line down, and if it's at 2, then we'll call it 2. Then we go across. If it touches the y-axis at 3, then we'll call it 3. So there is a format for us to write. We must always write in bracket 2, comma 3. Okay, so this bracket, this comma, and this close bracket is a must. And then you fill it up with your x value and the y value from the graph. Okay, so you see that they will tell you that this is ordered pair of 2, 3. Whereas for point B, the B over here, okay, follow me. If you need, you can pause the video and repeat. B over here, same thing. If I want to name it, I must make sure that I have bracket and comma. Then I go to the x first, x-axis, dotted line, so -3, and then I go across, it's -1. So when I ask you to describe a coordinate, I can use a name. The name of this coordinate is B, and to describe it, it is -3, -1. And when I describe, I must always start with x first, then the y value. I cannot reverse the order. If I reverse the order, I'm wrong already. Okay, then we go back to this cinema theater here. If you were to name these two seats, what will you call it? What will you call this seat, and what will you call this seat? You can pause the video and discuss with your friend, or you can just think through first. Okay, you can try now. Okay, this seat, if I were to follow this horizontal one, is my x-axis, and this, I point it down here, is my y over here. If I follow this here like that, then I mentioned that Cartesian coordinate is always comma x then y. So in this case, if we follow, this is called N7. Okay, and this is called O7. How so? N is because a dotted line touches the x. I must go dotted line and touch the x-axis, then I get the value. Then I must go over and touch my y-axis. Or actually I can draw my y-axis here also can, because they're the same thing. Either way, as long as I touch my y-axis, then I know that it's 7. Okay, so that's how you name. Yeah? So, can you highlight? Alright, let's finish this first. What is the coordinate of the point which is 4 units to the left of the y-axis and 2 units above the x-axis? So let's try. Okay, 4 units to the left of y-axis. So I'm gonna, this is my y-axis, 4 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and then 2 units above the x-axis. So this is my x-axis, 2 units above. 1, 2. So in other words, this is the point that they want me to name. So can you try? It must be in comma and bracket. So can you try? What is the coordinate of this point? I'm gonna stop for 2 seconds and then you try. You can pause the video. Okay, so here if you go by the next box, the x is -4 and y value is 2. So this is -4, 2. Then they ask what is the origin represented by. So you see here, this origin is represented by what? It starts from 0, 0. All the numbers must start somewhere, so it starts from 0, 0. Okay, in this ordered pair, the comma and the bracket, the first number we call it an x coordinate, and the second one we call it a y coordinate. Okay, you need to learn that. Okay, so it is important for you to recognize the order because these two are not the same. They are not the same because they represent two different positions. Okay, because you must always start from x first, then y. Cartesian coordinates are invented for us to communicate the location. So it's basically the idea of looking at things on a with a diagram. Okay, a relationship, a geometrical relationship using blocks. It's important for us to learn it. Okay, so in example 1, can you try? Write down the coordinates for each of the points on the following Cartesian plane. Okay, now this plane with boxes is called a Cartesian plane. Okay, can you try and fill it up? You can pause the video, put your device away and try to fill it up first before referring to the answer. Okay, you can try first, finish all first, then you can check answer. I'll pause the video for 2 seconds. Now you should pause the video, okay? Right, so A is -4, 6, B is -3, 3, C is 0, because you cut x at 0, for y is 4, D is 4, 5, E is 3, 2, F is 6, 0, G is -3, -4, and H is 5, -2. Okay. Example 2. Given the following points, can you plot them on the given Cartesian plane? P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. Okay, can you try to do it yourself? Plot them. I'll give you 2 seconds and then you try. Okay, you should pause the video. I'm gonna try to plot it now. Okay, first point P is right here. Second point Q is right here. R is right here. S, T, U, V, W. I hope all of you got it correct. Alright, I'm going to move on to the second one. So now they, in this example, they want you to plot the points, okay, and also they want you to draw the value of x from -3 to 6. So I am going to, there are two parts here. First, they want you to plot points. Next, they want you to draw the axis. Okay, so what I'm going to help you is I'll draw the axis. They want to draw from -3 to 6 for my x value, so let's do it. Then I'm going to count -1, -2, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You must know how to do the numbering, okay? It's just like how you do number line. If a 0 is here, 1 is here, 2 is here, like that, then this is -1, -2, -3. Okay, so think of negative number like going down the leaf like that. So it must flow. 0 is like a ground floor like that. Okay, so likewise for the y-axis, they want you to go from -2 to 5. So this easy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what about going down? It'll be -1 and -2 with origin label it as O over here. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. Your job is to fill it up, okay, with the coordinates. Okay, so the coordinates are as follow. Here, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, and this is F. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. So now we are looking at the next part, that is the function. What is a function? Okay, functions is the measure of the relationship between two variables that express how one variable can be determined from another, okay, and how a change can affect another. So it can be represented in many forms. You can use tables, you can use notations. Notations meaning is algebraic expressions, or in a form of graph also can. Okay, graph is a diagram lah. So there are many ways to show a function. So the functions perform one or more operation on the inputs, meaning that it's like, for example, you catch a fish and then you put the fish through a factory. Let me draw a fish. Okay, the fish entered the factory. When it comes out, it becomes a fish fillet in a packaging. Okay, so you put something in, come out as something else. So this thing is called a function. It's like a factory like that. Whatever that you put in comes out something different. So in mathematics, we call this factory a function. Okay, so how this works is by looking at this. If you put in an x value, and then I say that I want to plus 5, and I get my y, then it means that if I put a 2 in, it will come out as a 7 because I go and plus 5 to it. Understand? Okay, so this function machine is what you do to it. It can be anything. In this equation, it is plus 5. Okay, in this function, it is plus 5. but it is not always the case. I can change it. I can change the rule to -5. I can even change the rule to ×6. I can even change the rule to divide by 1000. The rule can be anything. But the idea is whatever number that you put in, you apply the rule, it will come out with a different number. But sometimes when you apply the rule, it might still be the same number, because you can have very, very complicated function. Okay, so having this idea over here, can you now write down the equation that show the relationship between the output and the input? Okay, so this is the input. You put the x value in, and you have a y output. Okay, so can you write down the equation for this one? This picture here. Okay, my output is equal to my input plus a 5. This is the relationship. Okay, fun, right? It's like playing game like that. If I put in a 3, what is my output? I get an 8. If I put in a -6, what do I get? I get a -1. Then now I change story. My output is 11. What is my original number? What is my input number? Okay, I just need to -5. This is 6. If my output is -2, what is my input? Careful with the negative number. Something plus 5 equals to -2. What is my input? Okay, I hope you got it right. Is -7. Alright. Okay, just now I also mentioned that such functions can be represented in multiple form. It can also be represented in a table. So there's a table here. Are you able to fill it up? Okay. So for today's lesson, I hope that you can finish question number 4. And for those who want to try, you may look at the other pages and try to complete it. Okay. Try to fill out the table here on your own. Okay, so I'll give you the answer now. -7, -1, 7, 8, and 6. Okay, so the next page, number 5, I will do it another time, or rather in another video. Okay, thank you very much.